Hi, I'm Cristina Mittermeier, and I'm a Sony Artisan of Imagery. In this video, you will learn about using social media as a tool. Visual storytelling is, of course, the fundamentals are in photography or video, but a huge part of the job is also knowing how to communicate in other ways. So for me, being a writer has been a tremendous skill that has really helped advance my career. And whenever I teach photography, I tell my students, learn how to write as well, because the internet is searchable by text, not by images. And so if you have strong words to accompany your photographs, and if you're able to tell stories that are authentic and genuine and honest, people will know and people will follow you for it. The other thing that I came upon almost by accident was social media. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all these things are fairly new. And when I started engaging in social media, it was almost just a distraction. And today, when I talk to a lot of photographers who are not doing social media, they see it as a distraction. For me, I quickly realized that it was just an incredible tool, not just because it communicates across languages and across countries and it's on 24/7, it's because it's truly democratic. I can do it by telling little stories on my own words, in my own time, and I dictate what the strategy is. So there's no filters, there's no editors, there's no big brother looking at the work that I'm doing. But social media has turned out to be not just an incredible communications platform, but it really is an interactive one. So for me, it's not just the number of likes that I get on a picture, but the engagement I get from my followers. So every image, I try to make sure that the photograph is beautiful, because that's the number one thing that engages audiences. So people will see an image fly across their screen, and if it's pretty and it's well done, they will like it. Hopefully they will also read my caption. And I never beat people over the head with my environmental messages, but I always try to sneak in there some bit of knowledge, because I believe that knowledge is power. And so the engagement I get from that is huge. Conversations that are happening, and sometimes when people don't agree with the things that I'm saying, I often just let the debate happen, amongst my followers in social media, and I don't interfere. I feel that the conversation, that the debate, just in itself is valuable. So it's not about likes and it's not about my ego. It's about a conversation that's happening all the time. The other thing about social media is that it has brought in more opportunities to make a living. When you get enough of a following, all those eyeballs are really valuable to advertisers. I choose very carefully who I associate myself with, but I think as a working photographer, you cannot afford not to have an investment in social media. And it's not about selling your soul to a corporation, but it is about making sure that your audience is engaged in what you're doing, and that it's significant enough to actually play a role in putting issues in front of the International Court of Public Opinion. In this video, you learned about using social media as a tool. I hope that some of the ideas and tips and lessons and mistakes that I've shared with you, that I've learned along my own journey, inspire you to find your own authentic voice, to figure out what you're passionate about, so that you can go out there and tell your own stories. There are no small stories, and we need a lot of storytellers to make a better planet. So get your camera and get out there. Can't wait to see what your story is.